making it legal can create trouble for the farmer too. Okay. So the best way forward is there could be different ways to give some protection to the farmer on the market risk, and that is, there could be a price stabilization fund.
The unrest unleashed by the Delhi Chalo March shows no signs of abating as protesters continue to wreak havoc on the third consecutive day. The focal point of the current turmoil is the Shambhu border between Punjab and Haryana, where security forces had to fire tear gas shells to disperse protesters attempting to breach barricades and incite violence. Agitated protesters went as far as throwing stones at the police, resulting in injuries to several Haryana police personnel on Wednesday. Despite the ongoing unrest, the central government, in a bid to end the chaos, is making efforts to address the protesters' demands and engage in talks with them. A third round of talks between the government and farmer leaders is scheduled for Thursday evening. However, the question is, are these protesters demanding for a negotiation with the government really looking for a solution to the situation? Because as per the government intel on Farmers Protest 2.0, thousands of protesters marching towards Delhi have bigger agendas at play. The protesters have strategically planned to arrive in small groups, reportedly seeking refuge in places like Gurudwaras, Dharmshala, ashrams and guest houses around Delhi to hold snap protests. While the intelligence suggests that they can use remote and non-motorable borders as entry points into the capital, these calculated moves evidently hint at a well-prepared intent to stay in the national capital for at least another 6 months. It might not be surprising if the protesters maintain politically driven chaos while dragging these protests to gridlock the country, the same way it was held in 2020 and 2021. Simultaneously, the Sanyukt Kisan Morcha, representing 37 farm unions, has also endorsed these protests as protesters continue to garner support from major farmer unions, including the Bharatiya Kisan Union and BKU, who have announced plans for a rail roko or train stoppage in the state on February 15 from 12 noon to 4 p.m. The Kisan Mazdoor Morcha and Sanyukt Kisan have jointly called for a Bharat Bandh on February 16, leading to extensive gridlock in the city. Meanwhile, these protesters are receiving sympathy from top political factions in the country, such as the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. Well, the Congress party has expressed solidarity with these protesters, saying MSP will happen in all states should they come to power, in its blatant hypocrisy. Congress probably has forgotten that it opposed MSP during the UPA government tenure in 2010. The party today promises of legal MSP guarantees aligned with the Swaminathan Commission's recommendation, but it outrightly rejected the same recommendations in 2010. However, owing to political considerations, the party's sudden embrace of the Swaminathan Commission's recommendations exposes Congress party leaders, because their real focus is not on the welfare of the farmers, but rather on the welfare of their own political goals. Another evidence of this duplicity is Aam Aadmi Party-ruled Punjab Police, which is now objecting to Haryana's use of drones inside its territory at Shambhu on the grounds of ensuring security. Earlier, Aam Aadmi Party even allowed protesters who smoothly head towards Haryana's Ambala onward to Delhi for their protest to press for their unreasonable demands. With less than 2 months until the elections, the escalating political rhetoric around these protests, which is turning violent with each passing day, has so far uncovered the hypocrisy of the opposition.